Hi there, students. A retainer. A retainer. Okay, this is a noun. It's got various different meanings. I think firstly, a retainer is an amount of money that you pay to someone so that you can guarantee their professional services when you need them. So, for example, you could pay a lawyer a retainer, yeah? And then when you've got a problem, you just ring the lawyer up and say, please resolve this problem. And they can't say, I'm terribly sorry, I'm busy at the moment. Maybe I'll be able to look at it for you next month. Yeah, or maybe you could pay me a retainer to explain any English problems that you might have, and like that I don't turn around and say, I'm sorry, I'm just too busy at the moment, I really can't do anything. It's a fee paid in advance, particularly to a lawyer, a barrister. It's a retaining fee, yeah? Okay, so to be on retainer as a consultant. Let's see, a retainer. Effectively, a retainer is anything that holds something in place. Very often these braces that they put in people's mouths to straighten out their teeth, these are called a retainer as well, and they hold the teeth in place. A retainer can also be an old servant, an old faithful servant who has worked for a person or for a family for a very long time. The faithful family retainer. I think this is somewhat old-fashioned now, because I don't think there are many retainers in the households of important people over many years. Mind you, I'm sure the Queen had various old retainers, people who had been working for her for all of their life or half of their life. So a retainer is a servant who's been employed for many years and is somebody who is a very faithful and trusted servant. Okay, and I think those are the most common uses of the word a retainer. Yeah, is something that retains. A retainer, a fee to reserve somebody's services. Yeah, you just ring them up because they're on retainer. Yeah, very common for a lawyer as well. I wish it was more common for teachers. Whenever whenever I need something explained, just send me a message. But you have to pay me the retainer first. I think it'd be a brilliant idea. A retainer, a servant who's been working for many years. Actually, also in the UK, you can use this word, a retainer, to talk about a fee. For example, let me explain. Normally students are at university from, let's say, September to the end of May. And then we've got June, July, August when the students are away. If you wanted to reserve the place where you're living, you could pay a retainer to retain your accommodation while it's not actually occupied, but a reduced rent. Yeah, it's just to keep it sort of like some sort of deposit or some sort of mechanism. Okay, so a retainer, a fee that you pay to make sure somebody will be available to work for you if and when you need them. A servant who's been with a family for a very long time, yeah, an old family retainer. This dental thing, this brace that you put in your mouth, a retainer. A reduced rent, paid while you're absent to reserve it for future use. A retainer, anything that holds something in place. So let's see, formality. To pay somebody a retainer, this is a business word. I think I would give this 6.5 in formality. Semi-formal conversation, semi-formal or formal writing. An old retainer, 6 in formality, use anywhere, although it's a tad on the formal side, a little bit. A retainer, or a brace for your teeth, 5.5 informality, use anywhere. Okay, and then, well, all of this comes from the verb to retain, to hold back. Retinere, retineo. Re, and then teneo, to hold. So, to hold tight, to hold in position. I think the re is just adding emphasis. So enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Retainer.